and she lives an isolated life from her family. And then she never married, and rarely she visits her friends and relatives. She was a prolific writer also. She published 1800 poems and one letter. And her poems contain short lines and slant rhyme and also unconventional capitalization and punctuation. Theme of her poems are love, death, nature, and immortality. And her first collections of poems were published in 1890. Her 11 poems were dedicated to her sister-in-law, whose name was Susan Huntington Gilbert Dickinson. She was passed away in May 15, 1886. Her age was 55 and she was passed away in Amherst, Massachusetts in US. Now let us see the text of A Bird Came Down the Walk. Look at the lines. A bird came down the walk. Consciousness means unarvu. Here, ecological consciousness means Emily Dickinson describes nature and natural things. A bird came down the walk he did not know I saw. He bit an angleworm in halves and ate the fellow raw. So, the poetess Emily Dickinson was the speaker of this poem. She looked at the bird without knowing to that bird. So, she saw the bird and he came down the walk. He bit an angleworm in halves and ate the fellow raw. So it searches for food and it ate the angleworm. And then he drank a dew from a convenient grass. Grass means here meadowland. So he drank a dew drops from grassland, which was convenient to the bird, and then hopped sidewise to the wall. Hopped means here jumped. And then the bird jumped sidewise to the wall to let a beetle pass. Beetle means here insect. So the insect passed. He glanced with rapid eyes. So he looked with fast eyes, quick eyes that hurried all abroad. So the eyes looked hurriedly abroad. They looked like frightened beads, I thought. They looked like frightened beads, I thought. He stirred his velvet head like one in danger, cautious. I offered him a crumb, and he unrolled his feathers and rode him softer home. Then oars divide the ocean, two silver for a seam, or butterflies off banks of noon leap plashless as they swim. Now, the speaker describes a bird when she looks at the bird. She describes the simple yet beautiful movements of the bird. This particular bird is coming down the walk. This is likely a sidewalk or path of some kind near the speaker's home. The poet is close by making it so that she can look at the bird, but it does not immediately notice her. She is able to observe the bird's actions without it becoming frightened. This description says about humans and their interactions with nature. So that only I look this poem in ecological consciousness perspective. Birds are rightfully wary of the presence of humans. They will not behave in the same way if they are knowingly being watched. The bird picks up an angleworm and bites it in half. It moves quickly from place to place, showing the anxiety inherent to most of its species. It knows the dangers presented by the much larger and stranger world. The speaker does not have any ill intentions, though she is simply reporting on what she is seeing and finding importance in the instinctual actions of the bird. After eating the worm, the bird drinks the dew from the grass. It does not go anywhere to find water. Its life has been presented as a simple movement from need to need. Another simple life introduced is that of the beetle. The bird makes a conscious effort to hop means jump, to the side and let the beetle crawl past. The bird is very aware of its world. The bird looks around with rapid eyes. They move quickly, all abroad, trying to see everything at once. It is aware of the variety of dangers it might face. The poet notices its inherent anxiety. The bird's eyes appear like frightened beads. They are shiny, probably black, and moving or rolling around easily. The bird becomes scared of the speaker and stirs its velvet head. This description of his feathers is interesting. Dickinson uses the word velvet to imply a kind of luxury about the animal. The last part is the flight of the bird. The poet attempts to have an interaction with the bird. She reaches out to him and offers him a crumb of food. The bird does not react positively to this intrusion on its space. The instinct of the bird guides it, and as it flies away, it unrolls its feathers. It is a process the speaker sees slowly and it is able to study. Each feather passes her by in all its velvet beauty. When he takes to the sky, he is said to row to his room, wherever that may be. Its movements are swift, yet purposeful, as if it is swimming. The poet is interested in how the bird's wings move through the air. She describes the process as being similar to oars dividing the ocean. The bird has a clear beauty that is compared to a butterfly that takes off from the banks of noon in the heat of the day. It jumps and moves splashless through the air. It cuts through the air as an oar would through the water. Like Thoreau, Emily Dickinson also insists on us to understand the nature. Then only we can have humanity. Humanity is just a part of nature. Thank you.